Do you see everything the spirit of infirmity can do to you mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually? The intention of its work is to ultimately separate us from God. In other words, it wants to destroy our witness and faith in the promises of God. Infirmities can stifle your efforts to evangelize. God appears powerless according to what you see, how you feel, or what you think. The spirit of infirmity lies in wait for access and permission to operate mostly through lack of knowledge. This is especially so when you do not read or study the scriptures. You are open season for access if you lack spiritual covering. So, it is important to align yourself with a ministry that teaches and builds upon scriptural foundation in your spirit. The spirit of infirmity takes advantage of those who harbor unforgiveness, commit acts of disobedience to authority, practice witchcraft, or have ungodly soul ties. Associations, entanglements, or time spent in environments conducive to sin is another point of access. When the spirit of infirmity attacks physically, there is a loss of energy, zeal, or enthusiasm for good health and well-being. Mentally, the person believes what is occurring is supposed to happen, and it is only going to get worse. Thoughts tend to project a negative outlook on life. There's a demeanor that rejects help or the resources necessary for improvement or change. Socially, attitudes or mood will vary from explosive anger to deep sadness or grief. And morally, there will be a tendency, disposition, or attachment to inordinate affection or perversions. Luke 13:10 said, "The woman with the spirit of infirmity was bowed together, and could in no wise lift herself up." This meant that her body was bent over, turned, crooked, and twisted. It was possibly contorted or arched. She had no ability, method, or technique for changing her physical condition. Apparently, her health was beyond the help of physicians. Some people are bowed over mentally. This makes them feel subdued, suppressed, or overwhelmed by a negative thought life. They have difficulty setting goals or making decisions that will yield significant adjustments. When financially challenged, a person might feel powerless to affect the system that controls money and wealth. Morally afflicted people tend to be governed or influenced by a warped, sometimes distorted sense of what is good and decent. The spirit of infirmity prevents lifting or pulling yourself up. It will seem impossible to emerge from the situation. To improve or advance to a better level or condition in life is out of reach. It can leave its victim unable to aid, assist, or support others.